Hello, I'm TheXToyCat, and welcome back to Seed Sunday. Seed Sunday is a weekly series where I talk about and show you seeds, Minecraft Xbox and Minecraft PlayStation, and today I'm going to be talking about the Nether. This is something that rarely comes up in Seed Sunday, but it's something really cool to talk about, because the console Nether and the PC Nether actually work in entirely different ways, and not only that, but the current gen version of Minecraft and the last gen version of Minecraft console also have entirely different functioning Nethers, including a lot of weird oddities when you go between the two. So I figured I'd show off some of those that might be worth talking about in today's video, as well as just a bunch of fun Nether facts you might not have previously known. But either way, I'd very much appreciate a like on the video. It helps out the channel a lot, and let's know you do like it. And let's get straight into this one, shall we? By talking about exactly what the Nether is. So the Nether is based on the science fiction-y concept of the warp, or the Nether, whatever we want to call it, where basically there is a alternate dimension linked to our own, where by traveling through this you can travel a lot faster. The downside to that is always that there's a lot more risk, and of course the Minecraft Nether follows that kind of formula, where in exchange for being 1/3 the size, and therefore traveling you through 1/3 as fast as the console Nether, you have to go through a lot more risk of ghasts and zombie pigmen and wither skeletons, all these things that want to kill you basically. So yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. And the first thing I wanted to show you about the Nether is a really interesting oddity that basically allows it to shapeshift around your portals when you play on Xbox One and PS4. So this is something that only fixed recently and made it actually work, because before it would just link all over the place. But basically, if we go into a portal here, it tries to divide our coordinates by 3 and take us to the Nether, right? So this is on a classic size world, and it roughly does that. It won't spawn you in lava, it won't spawn you inside Netherrack, but it tries as closely as it can to take you to 1/3 of your coordinates, so that it's roughly linked to your overworld location. And this one got pretty close, and if we go to the other side of the world, it'll do the same thing. Even if we go from the Nether to the overworld, it'll just this time try and do it, instead of going, dividing it by 3, it'll multiply the coordinates by 3. So if I go all the way over to here, on the other side of the Nether, it will take my coordinates after I make the portal, and it will multiply them by 3 to take me to the overworld, right? That's simple enough explanation. But on the PC, instead of doing it dividing it by 3, it's actually divided and multiplied by 8, which is kind of interesting to me, which means that the Nether there is actually, a lot more effective at getting you from one place to the other, because even though I can travel, so I'm on the literal opposite side of the world, as you can see from the map over here, even though, let me just make a Nether map as well, because that's going to be interesting. But even though, I'm traveling 280 blocks and traveling over 800 for the same distance, it's still not quite as fast as the way that the, the Nether actually works on the PC, where I'll travel 100 blocks and travel 800 instead. And this is really interesting, because the Xbox One and PS4 versions kind of tried to fix this oddity, but because there is world expansion, you get some weird things in the way. So, yeah, let me show you that thing first, like I mentioned. So let's go out of this world now. We're on the Xbox One, and let's take our classic size world into a large world size. If you don't know, this expands the area of the world by over 25 times. It takes it from 864 by 864 blocks wide to 5,120 by 5,120. And this is kind of interesting, because as soon as it loads, that is, it'll be interesting. But this is really interesting because we can expand our world all the way from, the small, the classic one, all the way up to large. Obviously, there's steps in between, but you get the craziest way of seeing this when you do this. And basically what this means is now, even though it's the same, even though that classic, chunk that I started with is all going to be the same, because the Nether doesn't scale up the same way as the overworld does. The Nether, if you're wondering, instead of going, it goes from 280 by 280 to, I think it's 600 by 600, which isn't 8 times, you might note, which isn't, they're the same size as the regular one's gone to. You also, not only do you get all these weird floating mushrooms in the extra expanded space, because it doesn't really know how to cope with all the extra space, you also, if we can go back to our Nether portal here, you also get your Nether portals linking to entirely different places, which it's really, really weird, because your previously linked set of portals now will make 4 portals instead of 2. And not only that, but the previously when you traveled that 280 blocks across the Nether, you travel 800 blocks in the overworld. Now you travel over 2,000 blocks when you travel from one side of your old Nether to the other. So let me just quickly show you this by going. Wait, let me get out the Nether map, and let's head to the south or to the north. I'm a little lost, but yeah, now if we head back to our other portal, you could see we can do this oh wait, I'm gonna get myself lost, aren't I? But basically, with the same distance, I can travel much, much, much faster, and it also means that, actually, let me show you the other ones. It also means that my previous layout portals, which, like I mentioned, previously they were 800 blocks apart, but I could travel them in 200 blocks. Now they do that much, much faster. So let's let's go this way, and let's go back into the actual real map. Now they can do that much, much, much faster, and the distance between the two portals, once I link them, is only going to be about 100 blocks in the Nether. So everything in the Nether kind of squeezes up and gets closer, and you get some really weird oddities like this one, where, like I mentioned, the portals just stop linking to each other, and everything kind of changes. changes, but it's arguably for the better because now I can travel the whole world in a much faster time, almost 3 times as fast. And the reason that, for this is because when you have a large world size, your Nether actually works the same as a PC Nether would work, which for the sake of this is really interesting and strange. So let's just find this portal, which is all the way over here. Also, if you don't overwrite the old world edge, you will get this sort of thing here, but I'm sure you already know that already. So, yeah, now this portal over here, which previously linked all the way over there, links to the Nether Fortress, just 55 blocks out from the center, which is crazy, because it means that if I can find which ways that is, then what I can actually do is if I found the other portal, it would be so very close. I could literally have the two linked by a minecart rail that takes 5 seconds to go across, which means you, if you ever decide to upgrade your 360 or PS3 side world to the Xbox One or PS4, if you expand the world, even if it's just for the Nether, you can still have this insane scenario where basically you can link your previous, what was the the far ends of the world on either side. You can link what used to be that in a much faster, more efficient way. So that's just a crazy cool thing about the Nether that you might not have known before. If you go to a large world size, it expands and it shapeshifts the whole world around it, which is so weird to me, but it's also kind of cool because it fits the theme of the war. But just in case that one fact to you is kind of lost on you, let's move on to other things that you might not know about the Nether. So first of all, the Nether map. If you make a map in the Nether, you have to actually first of all take your empty map and then make it where you're in the Nether. Then basically you'll get this map of the Nether over here, and the map of the Nether is basically a useless thing. On the console you would never need it. It might seem like you'd use it because look at all these orange and grey sparkles. They're useful, right? But in fact, the map that you make on the Nether, even though it will expand and it'll show your rough coordinates, the arrow you see there, that's going to spin around rapidly because there is no north or directions in the Nether. But also the pattern that you're creating, it's not made from the lava and the netherrack and the bedrock around you. It actually is just a pre-generated pattern. It's going to look like that regardless of what your Nether actually is, and it's an entirely useless map on the console because the only thing you'd want to use it for is the coordinates at the top there, and of course you can get these on a regular map, and they're the exact same. So the only reason you'd ever want a map of the Nether on the Minecraft console is if you really want to know relative to where the rest of things are, where you are. So yeah, that's just an interesting fact you might not have known. Also, compasses and clocks don't work in the Nether. If I show you one, the compass is just spinning around randomly, like it doesn't properly know where anything's going. As you can see, just spinning around, doing its whole own thing. And also, clocks have a very hard time in the Nether, because there is no time or direction in the Nether, which means you get things like this, where the clock has no idea what time of day it is. And to me, that kind of adds to the Nether's atmosphere, because it's meant to be this alternate dimension where everything's just crazy and hellish, and in exchange for that, you can travel your world much faster. So yeah, that's something quite cool. And just for the last few facts you might have known, sometimes I get people who suggest that I should make a house in the Nether, and then whenever they say that, I'm like, oh yeah, what you should do is make the house, make sure you have a bed and sleep in it, because obviously, when you try to sleep in a bed in the Nether, there's no time, there's no night. So instead of being able to just tell you it's not nighttime right now, you can't sleep, it blows up like this, which is kind of hilarious. And it also means one of the best ways to mine is with bed mining, which is one of my favorite things. But yeah, besides that, there is one more fact I figured I'd show off just while we're here, and that is the fact that you can actually grow trees in the Nether. So even though all these different things are true, even though it wouldn't make sense, one, the grass has a similar texture than it does to the Nether, but also you can have a tree, pick a tree, let's just pick an oak tree, and it will actually grow like it does in the overworld, which is really strange to me, because like I said, like all these extra things happen in the Nether that just make it weird, but you can still have a tree farm here if you really want to. So yeah, that's just something kind of interesting there about the Nether. Hopefully you did enjoy this video talking about the Nether. Hopefully you learned something in there. Hopefully I didn't just ramble too hard, because I find the Nether to be one of the more interesting parts of Minecraft, and maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't, but let me know in the comments down below. I hope you did enjoy Seed Sunday. Let me know what you want to see for next week's Seed, because I want to do another showcase. I usually alternate between seeds and just information videos, so yeah, let me know what you'll see for that, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.